Welcome to Soulmate Software's online education event. And I'm Alex Lowen from Attention Now, Sales and Marketing for Soulmate Software, and having a lot of fun with these online forums. Today we've got some fantastic affiliates in Moira Callard from Lewis Research, and she'll be talking about the latest research. Perhaps we'll kick off with you today, Moira.
Excellent. Okay, well, the report is hot off the press. Actually hasn't been published yet, so you're hearing about it now. It will be published this afternoon and we'll share with you, so hopefully you can send out as widely as you want. But our latest COVID report actually shows just what you would predict, I think, at this stage with all the COVID restrictions. Very state by state, different impacts and different effects. Obviously, Victoria most affected still, but with some optimism coming through. 64% in our survey of 1,100 Australians believe the government should have handled things differently, which is quite interesting. And 31% have been saying they've been hugely impacted mentally, particularly by the stage 4 lockdown in Victoria. But in the other states, it's a much brighter position as people are returning to a level of normal life. We still see about 1 in 5 households, so around 20%, who are really still looking hard at their household expenses and reducing household spends. But the interesting thing is online shopping, as I think most of you know, is going through a little bit of a bonanza, and it's continuing because people are discovering the bargains and the cost advantages of shopping online and the convenience factors. So we are seeing a trend of people saying that they will continue to online buy, continue to online shop more, even though shopping in some states is returning to more of a pre-COVID level. What else can I say to you? Interesting that this is a bit Melbourne-centric, but we also asked how people felt about the protesters but the protesters and how active they've been and how they felt about them. An absolute majority were against the protests, against people protesting, 9 out of 10 thinking they were selfish and shouldn't be doing it. But interestingly, about 1 in 10 actually did support in some measure, and that was all about just seeking a balance of measures to restore freedoms quicker in this state. So really interesting data and interesting report that's come out this month. It's showing hopeful signs, I think, of a recovery, particularly in all the states that haven't been in stage 4 lockdown, and also a real willingness and openness to government adopting a suppression standard around COVID to allow people to have as near normal life as they can. So there's an acceptance of masks, there's an acceptance, this New South Wales is being held up as the gold standard of how to handle and manage COVID outbreaks. And there's a very real sense of life has to continue, but this has to be managed right until the end of 2021. No one's seeing this as a quick fix. Very few people really seeing a vaccine as the panacea and the solution to it. So, you know, from our point of view, we saw an article where the head of Australia Post was saying, I think they'd had a 200% increase in online deliveries because of the boom in shopping, and we perceive that small businesses in online endeavours are going to, you know, really benefit right through till the end of 2021. Unfortunately, there are other smaller retailers that are hit and need to pivot to adjust to the new normal.
Which leads us on to the online e-commerce space and how we're all talking about planning, getting ready for the next quarter at the moment, which starts next week. Can't believe October will be next week. So perhaps over to you, Craig, we can talk about what you're doing with Soulmate Software and the online.
We dovetail, well done, Moira. We dovetail right into that. We talked to a lot of our frontline clients, things like people who have invested in bricks and mortar businesses, and that's where all the investment is in stock. And that's what we control, is their stock. And what we give them is visibility online to get their stock that's in bricks and mortar, and they can also sell online and then link the customer clubs and all their data around that. And so people who have got a small business go, oh no, I don't know what to do. That's where we come in. And then if they want to get their social media up and get their online business going, that's when they talk to Jen and Alex about it, because that's how it dovetails in and gets them exposed on the internet to get more customers. And a lot of our businesses are finding that their online business has gone from 10% to about 18, 20%. So it's not taken over completely on their business. They're still selling. This is not in Victoria. This is interstate. They're still getting 80% of their revenue in store, but the clients like shopping on store and picking it up, click and collect in store, and be able to return items to their store. So our software handles all that, and that's our growing part of our business.
And saving, customers money in the journey of making sure inventory control's there with the e-commerce space, which is so important. And perhaps we could talk a bit more now about frontline stores and what you've been up to. Do you want to start off, Kylie, with talking about your eFab event yesterday?
Yeah, sure. So yesterday I sent out the second of the 2 online buying events that we've had to put out because we couldn't run a physical trade event in Melbourne. So we've converted to an online buying event. We had about 80 suppliers across the 2, and it's been quite successful. Members have embraced the online kind of buying event. So it's actually been quite good. Yeah, but probably more receptive than we thought the members would be. So it's actually been quite successful.
Excellent.
Congratulations. Yeah. David, what's your journey been with it? Oh, you're on mute.
You're on mute. Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot to do that. Not only has it been successful from a member point of view, we've been using it also as a stimulus to try and recruit extra members too. It's a member-only event, the online buying, so we've been using it as a tool to try and recruit new members into Frontline. Because as you know, we're a membership-based organisation, and we rely on that, the growth and organic growth from promotions like this to fuel our business and to help us move forward as well. But interesting what you say with the research. I think we're finding pretty much the same. Our business, being a national business, is just going ahead in leaps and bounds in every other state but Victoria. Victorian country is not great, but the metro is just, as dead as a doornail. All our members are closed in Metro Melbourne. So obviously it's dragging, its tail there. But the rest of the country is doing really well, and we're actually ahead of all our, targets and budgets from last year. So, the business is moving forward quite well, and with online events like, Kylie's been involved with, it's been excellent for Frontline. So, I think you can draw some positives from what's been happening, not necessarily from the health-wise, but certainly from a business perspective. I think there are a lot of people who have benefited from, as you say, you need to pivot, and the benefits have been in different areas than in traditional areas. So I think that's where we've been able to move as well and take advantage of those sales and extra business that's out there. So we're pretty happy, I think, and we've been able to consolidate. So it's been not too bad for us.
David, can I just say too that I should have mentioned that the Buy Australian and support local sense is very, very real. It started in the last time I came in to talk to you about the research, but it's been maintained and continued, and we don't see that changing right through 2021. There is a real desire to support local and support Australian businesses, which again, I think can really help and support some Australian online sellers.
That's great.
Oh, it's brilliant. Yes, it's been brilliant to see how people have, as you say, David, pivoted into the online space and used this time of COVID wisely. Craig and the others here on this forum have actually seen a lot of movement where people are, if they haven't had any online experience before, really teaching themselves. These education events have led for some people to even speak to EdCorp. We'll talk to you, Danny, in a moment about the offer for what you're giving Soulmate software. And we're actually seeing a lot of people are planning and developing their programs and talking about the social media aspect for really developing their e-commerce platforms. And of course, inventory management is so important with what Soulmate can offer these business owners. So Danny, over to you. Do you want to talk about EdCorp and your offer for Soulmate software clients at the moment?
Sure, thanks, Alex. We're a finance company and we offer finance solutions for vendors, and we're working with Soulmate to put together a finance solution for the frontline clients that packages a deal together that Craig's put together, which is a combination of the service and the hardware and software. So it's a package deal, and we can offer fantastic finance for that, which frees up cash flow and helps people enhance their business and grow without that upfront cost, which I think is helping a lot of clients in these times particularly. So, you know, easy monthly payments, low docs. We can have finance approved, you know, within 20 minutes. So it's really fast and efficient, and it's helping business grow when it needs to right now. So that's what we're doing.
Fantastic. Thank you, Danny, for this great offer from EdCorp. To be able to say to clients, we can do it now instead of waiting till they've got the cash flow later. And they've got the time now. So planning, getting the e-commerce platform set up. We've got frontline stores with their affiliates. We've got Jen Stanley here from Anushka & Co. And of course, Soulmate Software are actually making these online platforms happen. Craig, do you want to talk more about that?
Well, over to Jen, because I think Jen should talk about the linking in the websites to make them more aware.
Link building, absolutely. Jen, do you want to talk about that?
Absolutely, thanks Alex. So yeah, I'm here from Anushka & Co. And what we do is we are a communications agency, which basically just means that we do all of the elements that you need to tell your brand story, whether that is social media or rewriting your website, writing EDMs, anything that helps you sort of communicate with your clients, with your audience. We can do video scripts, we can help you with photography, we can help you make the video, really anything like that. So it's quite a good time, obviously, to get on top of a lot of this stuff now. People are obviously looking at social media all the time. As you say, the online commerce is up hugely. So if you can get your social media right up to the mark at the moment, it's a great time to kind of get all that traffic directed to your online store through your socials. So with that in mind, we have got an offer for frontline members at the moment. We're offering a free half-hour social media consultation, which is really just the first step for getting your social media presence up and running. So what we do in that is we have a bit of a chat to you about any of your existing social media output, and we talk a bit about your objectives out of social media. So whether you want to get traffic to the website, whether you want to drive sales, whether you want to drive brand awareness, whether you're wanting to get into contact with influencers, whether you're wanting to run ads, anything like that. And just, yeah, to help you take that first step to feel comfortable with getting started with a more developed and more useful sort of social media presence.
Absolutely, and that's where I'd link in too with the affiliates here today, is offering this discount on a plan. So you instead of, it's a $500 discount, instead of $3,000 it's $2,500, and that also includes not just a plan for marketing communications, which includes the social media aspect of Anushka & Co, but it also includes planning for online e-commerce, finance, investor relations, and connection.
It's been fantastic for us.
Yeah, it's been very exciting to see the growth that we've seen recently, especially this year with the time people have got to sit down, really think about where they would like to be in 2021, use the next quarter to plan and implement next year. And also, of course, with the link building and social media, that needs to start now for 2021 because of that organic linking is so important with that SEO, not just the SEM. So we've got a few more minutes left. Does anyone have any questions? I'd love to hear more from Moira as well about this shopper's sentiment research that we'll see released shortly. And Moira, do you have any, I was just wondering if perhaps anyone would like to ask Moira any questions, but I'd definitely like to hear more about shopper's sentiment. And you've already touched on the fact that Australian made's definitely a key component.
Absolutely. Look, I mean, I can say that some of the work that we've done, and this report has been more a wrap-up of the COVID situation. How are you feeling about it, coming out of it? Are you going to be spending more? Are you going to be spending less? Things like that. But from a pleasing point of view, I think a lot of the tightening up on spend is actually from the point of view of holidays, entertainment, going out, stuff like that, insurances, not so much. I think there's a real desire to get back to spending and Christmas, looking forward to Christmas as the boom time of year for retail. And retail, it will be a mix of much more online, I'm sure. And, you know, I think there's a bit of a hurry on that. I suspect they're going to be saying, get your orders in by the mid-October, end of November to ensure deliveries by Christmas, but very definitely an appetite for return to normal shopping habits, and I hope it's going to be a bumper Christmas.
Yes, I was saying a lot of people inquire about retail, you know, and making sure deliveries are happening by Christmas. So everyone's trying to, you know, make sure the marketing's set up ready for the start of October orders to be really making sure before the middle of October, as you quite rightly say, for those delivery times.
Yeah, It's important. It really is important to be organised about that and flag it, because the reality is the upsurge in e-commerce has created some issues with deliveries, as you've seen, I'm sure, in various news articles, and the consumer is very aware of it. So I think over the years, we've done pre-Christmas shopping research for many years, and there's a good proportion of the Australian population that likes to be organised and do their Christmas shopping early. I think that's going to be accentuated this year because of the practicalities of the need to get in early and get in fast. So those that have disposable income, and there has been a degree of saving going on during these times, we'll hope to see releasing of the purse strings and more spend over the coming months.
Absolutely.
Just on that, Maura, it's been interesting from the frontline perspective. Obviously, we deal with a lot of suppliers who source a lot of their products from overseas, and their supply chains are often struggling at the moment, because it's been a worldwide pandemic. It's been right around the world. So China is, a problem. The rest of Asia is a problem as far as supply chains go. So stock could be an issue come Christmas. And as you say, I think even the supermarkets are saying now there's going to be shortages in various items as well. So it's definitely happening that supply chains are struggling to cope with the demand in Australia at the current time. So a very interesting observation.
And it's an important one, I think, for people marketing their services to be ahead of time. I know usually when we do research, people are really irritated by Christmas ads coming out too early. In this instance, I think there's a need to kind of educate that people will need to plan ahead and think ahead and get their orders in purely from the point of view of the supply chain issues and the delivery time, the lengthening delivery times just because of the sheer volume increase.
Yes, we're hearing a lot of attention now about delivery times and maybe doubling or tripling it. So leave a month for delivery, plus also supply chains of 6 to 8 weeks. So really it's crunch time, everybody. Give us a call. We'll send the link through to everybody. But do contact us at sales@solemate.com.au and we'll connect you to the affiliates you're seeing here today, and look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks. Thank you so much for all being involved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.